Hello everyone. Today we will see how we happen to contract diseases. Way back in BC 400, Hippocrates, who is known as the father of medicine, said we have to use food as medicine. But now, today, I am talking about after 2000 years after, right? 2000, we can say that 2400 years afterwards, we see people take medicine as food because for with every you know every time we consume food, they consume medicines, that is tablets. That has become a habit now. How this happened? We can say that we can ask a question. Allopathy was there in practice in 1800 AD, that is more than 2200 years afterwards, after Hippocrates. And Hahnemann was the person, he was a homeopathic doctor. In the beginning, he was an allopathic doctor, but when his wife became sick and not able to recover, he diluted the allopathic medicine and gave her. So she recovered. That is how he invented this homeopathic medicine. Basically, homeopathic medicine are high dilutions. Not just thousand million times dilution is used there, and thereby we recover from disease by giving this homeopathic medicine, right? And India has got, we have been using homeopathic medicine more than, we can say that, uh, more than 200 years we have been using homeopathic medicine. And we can say that, we are having three to four natural medicine like Ayurveda and naturopathy, Unani, and nutritional medicines like that, we have, several different natural medicines we follow today. And India is one of the countries where, more than 30% of the people follow the natural medicines. We have seen, witnessed India, which was supposed to be the country where millions would have fallen dead when Corona came. In, around, 5 years back, we are all aware of, entire world came to a stop by single disease, right? So though the disease was not very complicated, it was just you know breathing connected disease, something like a cold. But India managed this very nicely, right? Excepting the second wave, where the effect was very fast, right? It was during that period only many people died because people were not careful. Otherwise, we can say that, toll was very less compared to other countries, mainly because we were using several natural medicines. So coming to the topic, why we contract the disease, mainly because, today, because we are habituated to using these chemicals as medicine, started creating various diseases. We started, for example, the diabetic, we can say that it is actually created because of, we take, too much of carbohydrate. The carbohydrate taking more of thing more of it requires, more of insulin is required, right? So from the blood, the sugar has to go into the body, cells it has to go. If it has to go, means insulin is required. The insulin is the one switching system, transferring the sugar into the blood. Suppose insulin is not there, it will not go to the cell there. Instead of that, what is done is they have given a medicine, allopathic chemical, to show that your blood sugar is going down. So that way what they have done is diabetes is converted as a disease itself. And people were instructed to take medicine, not to stop the medicine. Right? So continuously you take this allopathic medicine and you got into a new disease called diabetes. It could be easily, overcome by controlling the diet itself, right? Reducing the quantum of the carbohydrate, we can easily manage it, right? Because we listen to those who want to make it a disease, they administer tablets and we believe them, right? This is what happens, when you go and talk to a doctor, he will say that once you get diabetes, you will have it throughout the life, which is a lie. They don't mind telling lie, right? So those who have experimented it properly have overcome this. They don't try to harm the body. They want to just be safe without being dependent on a doctor. Correct? So they have overcome it. There are people, who don't take medicine when there is a diabetes. Right? They want only naturally body be healed. So they don't take tablet. This sugar may be high. So what? They ask. I've seen people, they have, sugar may be high, but they don't take tablet. Nothing happens to them. Why? People are afraid, they only go and take the medicines, right? Same way, the other areas also, by taking, for example, for BP, if you consume tablets, BP will never come down by taking tablet. That doesn't help to reduce your BP, right? BP is because, your arteries are depositing the fatty stuff because get deposited and it reduces the size of the arteries. Therefore, pressure increases, correct? The best way is to clean is means you have to take, the things which will remove that, right? Then our pressure will not increase by taking certain, natural, remedies, natural, what you call vitamins and minerals. If you consume continuously, this continuous depositing can be avoided and you can maintain your, BP also simultaneously. And many people do it also, right? Same way, each and every disease, for example, if you have a problems with your gut, you should know what is actually happening in your gut. When you take the food, how it is digested, how nutrition gets into the body, all these things you should learn, which is not very complicated. Of course, it takes time, but we have to learn it actually. What are the food we have to take, right? Avoid as far as possible the, fast food, what you call, the ready foods available, we should avoid that. Instead, we take only homemade food and consider, taking nutritious stuff, right? Add lot of vegetables to our food not only non-vegetarian. Non-vegetarian is required only for getting the protein content. How much protein body needs, only that much we have to take, and we have to take a good protein only. We should not take chicken because it is, antibiotics is injected into their food. So if you take more of chicken, then you land into problem. It has already been proved. So what you need is you take only fish, that too, the fish which is not processed with chemicals. Then there won't be any problem, right? So like that, if you choose your lifestyle, taking foods which are natural, not made by, industry. So avoid as far as possible food, take, make yourself and consume, then you will avoid, getting into disease. Also, don't take into, for getting health, don't go and consult a doctor. He is interested in his business, right? More you go to him, he will earn more money. Correct? It is natural. It is their business. They don't bother about telling the truth to you. Okay. They will only tell, if you go to a doctor and treat for a disease, it will definitely come back again. If you go and ask him again, why I am getting the disease back, he will say that it will be there for lifelong. Take any disease, it will keep on coming, he will say. Lifelong you will get it. Why? Because he has to make money. So unless you go to him, how will he make money? So that is how, their business goes. By their way of handling is such a way, the medicine what they give, you will not die. Okay? Neither you will be healthy. If you are healthy, you will not go to doctor. Correct? And if you die also, you will not go to doctor. So what is required? You have to be in between. Neither you will die, nor you will be healthy. So you will keep going to it. That is what they do. Their medicine does it like that. You live for some more time, so their business will be on. That is how they handle it. We can't help it because this is how the allopathy industry grows. It's a big, huge drug industry. Okay, it's a very powerful one. But now today, because of, the technology and, the research, etc., have totally proved that medicines only create disease. I'm talking about chemical medicines. It has been proved already. There are several publications, even about drug companies also. Right? So even then, if we don't, try to understand and come out of it, this serious, trap, if you are not able to protect ourselves, naturally you are going to be in trouble. I would say that. Who is the loser? We only. If you follow the wrong direction or wrong route, naturally who will be affected? We only. So if you want to be safe, we have to be sure, we have to research, we have to take the right person only, not anybody. Specifically avoid people giving chemicals as medicine. Then you will be safer. If you go to a homeopath, you will not be, get into trouble. Maybe your disease will not go, but he is not going to see that, he make a business out of you. He will make you all right. Even Ayurveda also. Even naturopath also. Correct? Or if you go into a nutritionist, learn nutrition. So all these people will charge you, maybe charge you more, but he will not, mislead you. Right? So that is how we have to protect ourselves. Better we follow all the natural things. More you follow natural methods, more you will be safe, because sometimes they are not able to cure you by homeopathy. Go to Ayurvedic or go to naturopath, or yourself also can treat. You can read, get the best book, read it, you can become all right. That is how we have to become, healthy. So to get out of, not to get diseases means you have to be a little bit smart, little bit, more informed. Then you will be all right. You will change your lifestyle and you will be all right. And you will have, live long as well as you will look young also. Okay, that is the benefit. So we'll meet again.